Oh, hi, as a qualified beauty expert, the biggest question at the moment has been fringe cutting and hair trimming. So I actually was going to do a live fringe cut for you and talk you through how I actually do mine. Top tips though, as an industry expert and qualified expert and having my first very job, was actually sweeping the floor of my very best friend as the style director of a hairdresser who's Vidal Sassoon trained. So I can safely say as well that your hairdressers will be really pleased to talk to you. So if you can't get an appointment, you're not able to get an appointment because of COVID or shielding, things like that as well, then these are some top tips that you can follow. But also do get in contact with your hairdresser, even though they're sometimes closed because of COVID or lockdown situations, whichever the situation is at the moment. Then they're often available on social media, on email, on the phone as well. They're doing drop-offs of colour, they're giving advice. They could tell you whether you've got the hair that shrinks like mine, so which way it's best for you to try and do a cut with, and they can even give you some advice and tutorials too. So let me talk you through what I do with mine. My hair is naturally straight. Top tips: never try and cut your hair when you're feeling bad, you're feeling down, you're feeling tired, you've got no makeup on and your hair looks terrible. Top tips: so actually do your makeup and do your hair as if you were going out before you try to attempt to do a haircut, because you're much likely to get a better result. And then when you style your hair will style properly as well. So the things that I find really useful is a dry shampoo. Got my gorgeous Persian Reed one here. A roller, or put some heat or something into my fringe to give it some shape. Doesn't matter, doesn't have to be expensive scissors. These are completely blunt looking. They were used over Christmas and everything. There's even a bit of rust on them. Can't necessarily easily buy scissors. You certainly can't get them over the internet or anything like that for delivery. And I use a little brush. Now I cut my fringe dry, and the reason that I cut my fringe dry is that, believe it or not, even though I've got exceptionally straight hair, it has, with the aging process, changed texture, and also I like to put volume in it. So when I wash and blow dry, I like to put volumizing shampoo in, volumizing mousses in, things like that. And obviously in the fringe, that lifts the fringe up, so I don't have a dead flat fringe. So think about, how do you do your fringe? Do you really do flattening irons and keep it really straight, close to the forehead and the eyebrow, in which case a precision cut, which is much more difficult to do, is what you need to do, and that might be better done wet, but check with your hairdresser. I find my hair is better done dry because I like a more informal, sort of fluffy look to my fringe. I don't like a solid look to the fringe as well. And also I like to have lift, so if I just left my hair to blow dry naturally or blow dry it naturally, it would actually dry down like that. And if I cut it down like that, when I styled it, it would shrink up. So that's why I style it, and I put the shape in that I would want to put in. You can see here, even doesn't matter. I've got some dodgy layers from last time when I trimmed it in lockdown as well. So let's just take those away, because if there's some extra bits of hair, rather than chopping them, if you can amalgamate them into your other hair, then your hairdresser will be able to correct it much easier as well. So let's just take those other bits of hair away, get into the fringe, and you can see my fringe normally, is, if it goes flat, is beyond the middle of the bridge of my nose, on a bit of a Strictly Come Dancing Cloudy Wilkerman or something like that, isn't it? And I find that I also like a curved, and this is the easiest way to cut your hair: dry, curved, and a fluffy finish that then you can blow dry, or you can actually correct any things that look a little bit different by actually using dry shampoos in them. So the shortest part of my hair is always in the middle, and sometimes I might just trim the middle of my hair, and I use a little brush. This one happens to be a Philip Kingsley brush like this. I want to get rid of that long bit of hair because I don't know whether that's a layer or whether it's my fringe. So get rid of the bits that you don't think are your fringe, so you don't make a mess. Get it into a layer like that, and I literally, with a blunt pair of scissors, cut across like that. But because I've got that rounded shape, and I'm just doing the middle, so I'm not even attempting for a straight line. And then I'll put it back. Yep, that's okay. I will do it again. I can go a little bit shorter, because you can always go a little bit shorter, like that as well. So take a little bit more off. I'm just getting really what is the length of my middle bit at the moment before I sort of blend it into the sides. Do that as well. That's about the sort of right length. And then I start to pick up the other sides. Again, get rid of the long bits. I mean, who would have ever thought that watching a fringe being cut was going to be exciting? But I'm afraid with all of these different and crazy things that are going on to keep ourselves safe and keep hairdressers safe as well. So now I'm just angling up. So that gets me that shape on the outside. And again, I'm lucky in that I don't have a precision cut ever on my hair. So if you do have very angular precision cut, then it's much more difficult as well. I find this side more difficult, so let me get rid of my long bits. And I don't mind if I have too many long bits, because I can just get those corrected by the hairdresser at some point. Though last year I went to the hairdresser at some point, full point of twice in 2021. And I almost came to the decision I didn't want to look as if I was highly groomed or highly worried about going to a hairdresser. Right, I am completed. Then what I do is that I'll get rid of, so it's quite a lot of hair there. I've taken about 1 inch off. You see there. I would then put it into a curler on a morning, and if I wanted to as well, just to lift it on a morning too, is I'll actually spray dry shampoo into it, and that'll actually give a layered look. And I wouldn't do any more on it now. I'd actually leave it for a few days and actually see how I actually cope with it, and if there is any sort of little bits in the way at all or not. But that's absolutely fine. So that's how I cut my fringe. Hope it helps you.